In this tutorial, we're going to fold an open rhombus twist. So we've got that open parallelogram hole on the back, and this one does open and close quite nicely. This is part of the Summer of Twist series of twist tutorials, which means that you can sign up for email reminders for to make sure that you don't miss any of the 30 videos at training.gatheringfolds.com/summer. And you can also get an ebook of the crease patterns for the larger tutorials that are linked at the end of each of these videos, and challenge patterns to test your understanding of the twist that you learned today. So let's dive into this twist. The first thing I'm going to do here is mark the center of my paper. I'm using an 8-fold triangle grid on a square. Make sure to check out the series welcome video if you're unfamiliar with this grid. And I have my edge parallel grid divisions arranged vertically. So I'm going to draw one vertical down to the center and then jump over one grid spacing. And I'm going to actually draw one spacing past the vertical and jump up. Sorry, I'm going to just be drawing these verticals one grid spacing apart from each other. And I jumped a little bit far on this one. I'm going to have my next grid line coming one spacing above the center and dropping down and to the right. And then my next one is going to complete that 2x1 parallelogram and go up and to the left. My valley folds here are going to be for a right-handed twist. So thumb up in the center, fingers along the mountains. This is my right hand. When I curl my fingers, that's going to hit the parallel valley fold. And that will be true of all of my pleats. And I can then start forming the rhombus twist. I'm going to pick up those mountain folds and fold them over onto the valley folds. So both the mountain and the valley are fully folded. I'm going to rotate around, do that for the next pleat and the next and the next. And we're going to end up with this shape in the middle that looks a lot like the pointy hexagon of the open hexagon twist, except that it's missing 2 points. So one of those directions has been, or the folds in this grid direction are not present, and so this is going to be an open rhombus instead of an open hexagon. And we are going to be able to start squashing. And I like to just really make sure that my pleats are in place as I'm squashing. It never hurts to double check that a valley fold is actually on the grid line that you thought it was on, because these things like to swing out of position when you're not looking. One of the things going on with this twist is that it is kind of equivalent to 2 open triangle twists. So if I split the middle here, you'll notice that this half has kind of the same projections, the same shape as an open triangle twist. And if you haven't seen the open triangle twist yet, then definitely check out the tutorial in the Summer of Twists series. And we've got all of these projections on the inside that don't actually end up folded in the final piece. So we've got our final folds out here, then everything in the middle is eliminated. So we end up with this giant rhombus that is, and when we folded that, we do indeed get that 2x1 parallelogram on the back. And one of the interesting things about the rhombus twists is that the direction of grid lines coming out of the pointy ends and the direction of grid lines coming out of the fat ends, these are different distances apart. Specifically, the one coming in the fat corners is one grid spacing further apart than the one coming out of the pointy corners. So with the closed rhombus, we had 0 and 1 spacings. With the open rhombus, we have 1 and 2. In the next video with the double open rhombus, we'll have 2 and 3. So that's what's going on with our open rhombus twist. Let's take a quick look at the crease pattern on the back, where we do have these 60 and 120 degree angles in that central polygon. And we've got our mountain folds parallel to our valleys heading out of the corners. And so there we have our open rhombus twist as seen in crease patterns from the back. And now you know that if you see this, you want to flip over to the mountain side so you can have your projections coming in, thinking either about outlining that 2x1 parallelogram, or about finding this anvil shape so you can then fold the open rhombus twist. So definitely check out this longer tutorial if you're interested in folding the pattern in context with more repeats. And I'll see you in the next video of the Summer of Twist series. Happy folding!